Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Horrific History. Today, we're going to be talking about Operation Sea Spray. Now, this is probably one that most people have not heard of. It involves government led experiments with biological agents. It was conducted by the United States Navy in 1950. It was a covert operation, and it involved the release of an aerosolized bacteria over the city of San Francisco. The origins of Operation Sea Spray can be traced to the heightened tensions of the Cold War era, when fears of biological and chemical warfare loomed very large on the global stage. Motivated by concerns about national security and the need to develop defensive measures against potential biological attacks, the U.S. military embarked on a series of experiments. The goal of these experiments was to assess the vulnerability of urban environments to biological agents. So they wanted to see what would happen and figure out ways to combat it and to neutralize the Soviet threat. In September of 1950, the Navy conducted Operation Sea Spray as part of a broader research effort to study the dispersion patterns of bacteria in coastal regions. Using a specially equipped naval vessel, researchers released clouds of Bacillus globigili, a non-pathogenic bacterium with properties similar to those of anthrax, over the San Francisco Bay Area. The decision to conduct Operation Sea Spray without the knowledge or the consent of the city's residents really underscored the secrecy and disregard for the public welfare that characterized many of these government-led experiments of this time. The aerosolized bacteria was designed to mimic the behavior of potential biological weapons, and it spread throughout the city, and it exposed thousands of unsuspecting civilians to microbial agents whose long-term health effects were completely unknown. The deliberate exposure of civilians to potentially harmful biological agents without their informed consent, or even without their knowledge or consent, period, obviously violates every principle of medical ethics, human rights, the trust in government, the trust in the scientific community. It's bad news all around. In the aftermath of Operation Sea Spray, concerns about the safety and the ethics of biological warfare research led to a lot of increased scrutiny and calls for much greater transparency and accountability in government-led experiments. It prompted public outrage, and it was the basic thing that you always see in these situations. The government does something bad, people find out about it, they're outraged. There's a bunch of hearings about it. There's a bunch of politicians that talk a lot and don't really do anything, and then they promise to not do it again, but then they just keep doing it, just under the radar. While the full extent of the health consequences of Operation Sea Spray still remain unclear, the episode serves as a stark reminder of the risk and the ethical dilemmas and the ethical demands that are inherent in the pursuit of scientific knowledge, particularly in fields with the potential to harm human health and our environment that keeps us alive. Very important. As society grapples with the challenges that emerging technologies and scientific research pose, it's important to kind of keep in mind the principles that we want to stand for, and to somehow hold our government accountable and make sure that they share our principles and our values. You're never going to stop all of this kind of stuff as long as you have these kind of people that run things. So I would say the whole vote your party line, no matter what kind of deal, has got to stop. We've got to start paying attention. We've got to start knowing who these people are and doing our research and voting accordingly. We can clean this mess up. This has been going on our entire lifetimes, but it doesn't have to. So let me know down in the comment section what you guys think. As always, up to you to make up your own mind, and I will catch you on the next one. Until I speak to you again, love many, trust few, and do harm to none. God loves you, and so do I. Bye-bye.